Hi everyone, and welcome to the HACCP Plan to improve your life. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is James Harper. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, as we like to say in our homeland country. I'm Trinbagonian to the bone or Trini to the bone. The name of my company is Inspiro Wellness. I'm a health and wellness coach, self-help coach, and a motivational speaker. My specialty: nutrition, type 2 diabetes education, or as we like to say, type 2 diabetes remission. But I also love helping people become healthier and better versions of themselves. But the topic that I'm going to talk to you about today has nothing to do with diabetes or nutrition. It has to do with something that I'm very passionate about, and that is growth and self development. So, at the end of this speech, the person who's listening should be able to understand what is a HACCP plan to improve your life and how having the right minded mentality can help you reach to greater heights. So first of all, we have to find out what is the meaning of HACCP. Now, in my very short career as a chef, I heard this acronym a lot. Now, I am no Bobby Flay by any stretch of the imagination, but I can tell you what HACCP means. It's an acronym for Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point, and it's an international recognized system that deals with food safety. In other words, it prevents us from getting sick from the foods that we eat. Now, this HACCP plan that I'm talking to you about has nothing to do with food safety or nutrition. It has to do with mindset and having a growth mindset. Studies have shown that people who demonstrate a growth mindset are way more successful. So, have I piqued your interest? Do you want to know what this HACCP plan is all about? Well, I'll tell you. The HACCP plan to improve your life stands for honesty, accountability, commitment, consistency, and priority. So, let's begin with honesty. When we're talking about being honest, we mean being honest with yourself. And being honest with yourself takes some sort of introspection. You have to ask yourself some very difficult questions. So some of the questions that I asked myself was, am I willing to do what it takes? Am I at a place or position where I want to be? Do I need help? Is my strategy the right strategy to reach my goals? Am I the one thing that's holding me back? People want change. We all want to improve our lives, especially when things are not going our way. But the thing about change is that a lot of people are willing to change, but they're not ready to change. And they're not ready to do what is necessary to achieve that change. So when we talk about honesty, we mean being honest with yourself, because honesty is the best policy. Which brings me to my next point: accountability. And when I'm talking about accountability, I mean personal accountability. Now, personal accountability means that you have to take a lot of personal responsibility. You see, accountability means that you have to take ownership for your actions. Now, the thing about accountability, it can seem a bit of a burden on the shoulders, because who wants to take personal accountability or personal responsibility for their actions? And that's why it can be a bit difficult for a lot of people. But I can tell you the personal benefit of taking that accountability for your life is that you take charge of your life. When I stopped making excuses about why certain things was not happening in my life, I stopped making excuses about things about the government, about my situation, about about the economy. And when I took full charge of my life, that's when I started seeing results. So when it comes to accountability, you need to take charge of your life. So A, for accountability, be accountable for your actions. Take charge of your life. Now I'm going to give you a 2-for-1 special. I'm going to talk about commitment and consistency. Commitment and consistency is a great pair. It's like Thelma and Louise, Batman and Robin, two peas in a pod. It goes hand in hand. Let me paint a scenario for you. January 1st, you're hyped. You have a New Year's resolution. You say, okay, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to do everything that it takes. In the first week of January, you exercise 3 times a week. You're eating healthy every day. On February 1st, you're not doing any of the sort. You stop eating healthy. You stop exercising. You're off of that resolution bandwagon. Now, a lot of people will tell me things like, I've lacked the willpower. I'm not motivated again. But do you think that you lack willpower? Well, you're wrong, because willpower is something that's short lived. What you lack is commitment and consistency. And as you can see from this equation right here, commitment and consistency equals results. The thing about commitment and consistency, it takes self discipline. I want to explain something to you called the Kaizen method. Now, Kaizen is a Japanese word that means improvement, but it's also a Japanese philosophy that states if you take small incremental actions on a consistent basis, it compounds into massive results. Let me explain something about growth. Growth is a process, and you have to be disciplined in the process. But once you're disciplined in the process, you'll see success in the result. People, it's never about the big things that you do once in a while. It's always about the little things that you do on a consistent basis that compounds into massive results. So when it comes to commitment, we mean be committed to your cause, stay on your path. And when it comes to consistency, consistently do the right thing, especially when things get difficult. Remember, without commitment, you'll never get started. But without consistency, you'll never get it done. And last but not least, let's talk about priority. Is this a familiar picture? Do you feel burnt out? I've heard a lot of people tell me things like, work has me so burnt out. My family has me feeling so worked up. I lack this work-life balance. But do you think it's about work-life balance? Well, let me tell you, it's not about balance, it's about priority. You give time to what you prioritize. Plain and simple. Look at this scenario right here. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have traveled, and before every flight, they have a safety breach. Now, in case of an emergency, and in case the oxygen mask is deployed, they always say put the oxygen mask on yourself first before putting it on your loved ones. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because it's a dog eat dog world? Do you think because first come, first serve? No. What they're saying is that you have to be in a good state before you can help others. You need to make yourself a priority. Now, I'm not saying for you to divorce your spouse, abandon your family, or quit your job. I'm just saying that you need to take time to prioritize what's important, and that is you. I always hear influencers say things like self care Sunday, but why self care can't be an everyday thing? People, self care isn't selfish. It is the ultimate form of self love because it shows that you love yourself. If everything is a priority, then what is a priority? And the answer to that is nothing. So you need to make yourself a priority. And let me explain something to you. Honesty is the first step of the HACCP plan, but priority is the most important step. Because if you do not make yourself a priority, then all the other steps will not work out. So when we're talking about priority, we mean make yourself a priority because you are important and you deserve it. So here's a recap of the HACCP plan. H, honesty. Be honest with yourself because honesty is the best policy. A, accountability. Be accountable for your actions. Take charge of your life. C, commitment. Be committed to your cause. Stay on your path. Second C, consistency. Consistently do the right thing, especially when things get difficult. And P, make yourself a priority because you are important and you deserve it. This is a very powerful quote from George Bernard Shaw. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. So here's my call to action to you. Growth is an uncomfortable process, but it is necessary. And for your situation to change on the outside, you need to change from within. I hope you can follow this HACCP plan and use it as your compass for you to improve your life. So my name is James Harper. I'd like to thank you very much. I'd like to welcome you to the Inspiro family, where we simplify, we educate, and empower. Use a HACCP plan, everyone, and improve your life. Take care.